If you're getting started trading, whether that be stocks, options, forex, futures, cryptocurrency, I want to show you a couple of tools that I believe you really need to be using. And don't worry, I'm not going to sit here in front of the blackboard the entire time and spit theory at you. I'm going to take you to my desktop and show you some real life results of one of my trades so you can see these tools in action and see how in this particular trade, they really did help me out quite a bit. So the tools, and I'm not going to beat around the bush, and even if you've heard of them, great. If you are though, like I said, literally brand new, just getting started and a total beginner, that's fantastic. So maybe you've never heard of these tools. And if I can actually just start to nudge you down those pathways, then perfect. Because I want you to learn about them. They're a big benefit. So how exactly are they a big benefit? Well, let's just first take a look at, and I'll just look at me. So this is me right here. And as traders, if you're not aware, really, we have two core concerns. Just two. It boils down to two core things. First off, this is what we want to do with random. Random means gambling. Random means you really have no idea. It's just let's go to Las Vegas. And I get it. A lot of people use the markets as a casino. They treat trading as gambling. So they just, in their mind, it's all random. But no, we don't want randomness. So that's the first thing that, like I said, at the core, a trader needs to do. The second thing a trader needs to do at the core is stay calm. If you've never had your money on the line, then maybe this doesn't seem like much, but as traders, when you put money on the line, you need to stay calm. You need to remain rational. You need to be able to operate in a way that is not random and that can ultimately over time lead you to, consistency. Now, I'm not saying these tools that I'm gonna tell you about are the holy grail, and if you learn them, and you'll always make money. But my point here is that these two tools are gonna help with these core areas that you wanna have as a trader. So on the screen here, I'm gonna show you what you're about to see. And in that upper right-hand portion, we'll point out to you, those are called level 2s. And then on the left-hand side, the thing that almost looks like the matrix, that is what is called a technical chart. So those are the two tools to keep an eye on. You wanna have, again, so how are these things coming together? Level 2s, and then technical charts. These are those tools that you need to be using. And this isn't necessarily, well, just because you're a beginner, you need to do this. No, experience, everybody uses these tools. I mean, if you've ever looked at any sort of like movie or anything in the background, you're always seeing these things. You probably don't know what they are. But the point here being, yes, as a beginner, I want to encourage you to go and check out these tools. So I'm going to take you to my desktop real quick, and I want to walk you through, like I said, a live trade so we can step out of the theory, because yes, right now this is all me just spitting theory at you. But let me show you how this trade played out. And keep in mind, I was not making random decisions, and I was able to stay calm, and thanks to these couple of tools right here. So let's go and see how the trade played out. All right, getting a little bit of context here. So there we go. All right, makes it a little bit easier. Don't go, wow, very spready. Thing is all over the place. What is that, 170, 170 though? Looks kind of interesting if it can hold again. It did. There we go, 170, 170. Just alerted to the chat room. In there at 170, 170, I think this thing wants to fail to the downside. So we'll see if it wants to do that or not. But if it decides to go up over 172.50, I will have to be out. But like I said, that wasn't the greatest candle to just see form there. Well, oh wow. All right. Oh, this thing is really moving up. I'm going to let this thing settle down here for a second. In fact, if it comes back down here, I may look to add. If it looks like it wants to break through 172, because that was just a ridiculous move there. Especially if I can get a nice little candle here to form. So adding there at 172.06, so I now have 800 shares. Let's see if we can get this thing to actually move to the downside now and break that 170, 170 mark. There we go. Can we get, there we go. All right, have 200 shares left. This could still be a losing trade. Let's see if we can get some more follow through to the downside though. I have no problem admitting my read. This thing is all over the place. So just 100 shares now. If it goes up over 172, I'll be out of the remaining 100 shares. But yeah, this one, as you saw, very, very jumpy. If it can break down through 171, look to pull out 50 more shares. Let's see if it can get down through that level. There we go. So out there for another 50 shares, now I have 50 shares left. So now I'm in a great spot, a situation where it's not if I make money, it's how much money am I going to make. And as traders, that is the, goodness, that is the ultimate spot we want to be in. So if this thing goes up over 171.50, I'll just take out my remaining 50 shares, use a mental stop. But if this thing wants to keep on moving down, well then fantastic. So again, let me repeat that. It's not right now, it's not if I make money in the trade, it's how much money am I going to make. And as traders, that is truly the ultimate spot to be in. All right, I'm going to move my stop loss now here to 171.27, and I'm just going to start to bring this down. So if we break down through 17, that's close enough. So 171.01 now. All right, going to bring that down to 170.77. So again, truly a great, great spot to be in. Because I have no idea how much money I'm going to make, but now it's just, let's let this thing work for me. Now, yes, if you're saying the same thing as me in hindsight, why didn't I hold on to more shares, Clay? Why didn't I hold on to more shares? I'm saying the exact same thing myself. Well, there we go, $358 or $56 on that trade. And I want to just emphasize something as you saw the trade played out. What did I do? Well, because I was able to make not random decisions, you saw that I actually added to the position there. So not only did I stay calm, stay in the trade like I should have, but then I made more money on the trade because I was able to notice certain things, and therefore I added to the trade. Or in other words, I built up my position size even more, and there was that much more profit that came from it. So yeah, as a beginner, please go out there, start to learn about level 2, start to learn about technical charts. I offer training courses that can help with both. If you don't want to use those, that's totally cool. No offenses taken. That doesn't change the fact that you as a beginner and as a trader need to be learning how to use level 2s and need to be using technical charts within your trading. If you found this video helpful, then a couple quick requests on my part. First off, hit that like button. That's a very time efficient way to say, hey Clay, thanks. Please keep making these videos. It's worth your time to do so. Also, comments, questions, suggestions for future videos maybe, leave those down below. I do read comments and will reply to them. And then finally, check out the channel as a whole. If you like that little live segment, there's an entire playlist of those. I think it's like 400 videos now at this point. But like I said, there's a lot of other stuff on the channel, so check it out. Hopefully you decide to subscribe. And yeah, get out there, and whether or not you want to use my training, besides the point, but you gotta learn level 2s and technical charts. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.